What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's turning out to be a beautiful day, and it would be wrong not to be on two wheels. Today we are taking out this BMW S1000R from Dick Lovett. As always, before we get into this, let's roll the intro. You didn't come here to watch me standing around talking about the bike. Let's get on and ride it. Keyless entry, keys in my pocket, push the button, lovely start up. The S1000R comes in two base models, and that's going to be the S1000R, which is going to be the standard one, or the S1000R Sport. And then if you're really looking to be spinny, you've got the M1000R. I'm not really going to cover anything to do with the M1000R. All you need to know is that it comes in around £19,200. So if you've got the cash dollar, that's going to be the one you get. We're only discussed the S1000R and the Sport. The standard R is going to set you back £13,100, and if you want to spend a little bit extra money to get the Sport version, that's going to set you back £15,300. Even though I've already told you about the three different R's, you then got a further option within the R and the Sport of adding the M package. The M package is going to also then set you back another £2,900. If you are buying this bike new, that's going to be one of the first questions you can ask yourself. And the reason for that, you've got the three different colour options for this bike. You've got the black, you've got the grey that's got a little bit of accent of the yellow, and then you've got the traditional BMW, the white, blue and red. The black isn't going to set you back anymore, it's going to be the standard price. The grey is going to be an extra £335. The white, red and blue is going to be what's going to be included in the M package. So if you want that colour, you're going to have to get it. Other than giving you the colour scheme, it's going to give you the extra niceties, and it's going to make this bike a little bit lighter. So you're going to get the forged wheels. They look absolutely stunning, especially if you get them in the right light. You'll have the exhaust put on the bike, along with the M Sport seat. Also you get a rear seat cowl for the rear passenger seat. When looking at the M package, you're going to have to decide, do you like their exhaust? Do you need the forged wheels? You also get a new lithium battery. So not only do you get those extras, but you also save yourself 3 kilos. Me personally, other than looking at the colour option for the bike, I do like it in the white, red and blue. The other extras aren't necessarily things that I would be looking for to change or add on to my own bike. And the biggest choice for me, if I was picking this bike, would be whether I want the standard or whether I want the Sport option. What do you get if you're £13,100 in the standard trim? To be honest, not a lot. You're looking at dynamic traction control, 3 different rider modes, rain, road and dynamic, LEDs all round, obviously your TFT screen and your SOS button, which is on the right hand side of the handlebar. Apart from that, it's kind of it. I was out on the Yamaha MT10 last week, and that bike comes in at £13,300, and on paper these two are very similar bikes, and even the Yamaha comes with cruise control as standard for that price. If you see my review on the MT10, you know I love the engine, but there is some big flaws that Yamaha just haven't fixed since it's come out in 2016. Those flaws are going to set you back a couple of grand anyway to fix. So that now brings us in line with the S1000R Sport. To me personally, I wouldn't bother looking at the standard. I like the extras that come with the Sport, so that's where I'll be setting my sights. For the extra £2,200, to me personally, that's where all the goodies start coming into it. And it's the goodies that make the bike special. The extras you're going to get within the Sport package. Okay, so obviously, like I said, you've got the 3 normal rider modes, so rain, road and dynamic, but you're also going to get dynamic pro. With that, you're going to be able to go into the connectivity of the bike, use your phone. You can then adjust the parameters of that rider mode, i.e. engine braking, traction control, throttle response. You're also going to get quick shifter assist pro, i.e. shifter up and down. And as you'd expect from BMW, it just works perfectly smooth. There's no jarring, there's no jolting in between gears. It just slots straight in. We've also got cruise control, we've got daytime running lights, we've got adaptive headlights, we've got heated grips. There is a USB charger for your phone. Unfortunately, it's under the rear passenger seat, not up front. All those added features onto the sport package is why personally I would go there. Just makes riding this bike so much nicer and easier as well. Let's look at the engine on this bike. It is obviously taken out of the S1000R, but they have retuned it. They've dropped the horsepower and it sits a respectable 165 brake horsepower, pushing out 114 Newton meters of torque. For a naked bike, inline 4, you don't need any more. Makes everyday riding easy, effortless. You get into the twisties and you can just really open it up and have some fun. When I said this bike and the MT10 are quite similar, the MT10 is pushing out 163 brake horsepower with 112 Newton meters of torque. So on paper, very little separates them, apart from one has your typical inline 4, i.e. this one, and then the MT10 has got the cross-plane inline 4. Just on the excitement side of the engine, I'm going to have to give it to the MT10 on this one. That cross-plane engine just gives so much grunt and pull, and it really launches you forward when you twist the throttle. This is your typical inline 4. It's very smooth, got very linear power curve, and that's not saying it's not a good engine, because it is really good engine. It's strong, but it's not a grunty engine. Even though it's got 2 Newton meters of torque more, the 10 definitely feels more torquey. Let's move on to ergonomics of this bike. I'm 6'1". This bike has a seat height of 830mm, and I do have both feet flat on the floor. BMW do offer a lower seat and a taller seat option for this bike. The lower seat is going to drop the seat height to 810mm, and then the taller seat is going to be 850mm. It's nice to see companies catering for the taller and shorter riders, because a lot of people tend to forget. As soon as you pick this bike up off the side stand, you do notice it is nice and light, because it's coming in at 199 kilos fully fueled. That's impressive. MT10 212 kilos fully fueled, so there you go, 13 kilos better than the MT10, and it does feel it. Thinking back to the M package with those forged wheels and the lighter battery, etc., different exhaust, I did say you are going to save yourself 3 kilos, so the M package will drop this weight to 196 kilos. When you start getting into the twisties and want to have a bit of fun, you're definitely going to feel that flickability, just how it drops left and right. It's not the best road conditions today, the ground is damp, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to fully open this up and enjoy it today, but maybe and hopefully I can come back, take it back out in the summer, dry roads, and properly enjoy this bike. Exhaust sounds good for a stock one, especially when you're going along and you come off the throttle. It's got a nice deep rumble, you can hear the pops and bangs coming out of it. That's nice. Let's find somewhere to pull over, have a little walk around, do a sound test. I'll tell you what, that'll do nicely.
Inline 4, 1000cc, she is warmed up. You can actually hear the little pops and the bangs at the end, so stock exhaust sounds really nice when you're coming off that throttle. Just hear that like pop, 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 pop. BMW, good job. As with all BMWs, we're going to have the LED lighting all round. As mentioned, it does have the adaptive headlights, so when it comes dark it's going to turn on your full beams. If not, you're going to have the daytime running lights. One thing to notice, the radiators are pretty exposed, so that would be one of the first things I'd personally do. I'd get some protectors on there just to stop any punctures. Don't want to be getting any holes in your radiators, because they're expensive. Coming round to the rear then, we've got integrated brake lights, running lights and indicators. I like this because it just tidies up that rear section and just makes it look a lot neater. You can just about make out the cables coming out of the top of the suspension. We do have electronic suspension on this. Once again, another thing you can change in the Dynamic Pro settings. This being the sport model, does come in at 15.3. If you then look at adding the M package to get the upgraded parts, you're looking at about 18.2. You're about £1,000 off from the M1000R. That thing looks phenomenal. Not only does it look the part, but the engine has been retuned, so that engine pumps out 210 brake horsepower. Depending how spinny you are, you can really go out on this. What I like with BMW, they've done it from a range of 13,000 to 18, 19,000. So whether you want a cheap S1000R, you get the stock one. If you want the middle, 15,000, or if you want the top dollar, 18, 19 grand. So it's kind of a bike for everyone, whether you're low on funds or you've got the money to spend 20 grand on a bike. Comparing this bike to the MT10, as said, on paper, very close price, brake horsepower, torque. There are definitely some parts on this bike that are better than the MT10, and the MT10 on the engine side, to me personally, wins over these two bikes. But the MT10 has some areas that just, for its price range and how long it's been on the market, it's really lacking. And this bike kind of just solves those issues. The brakes on this really strong. I wouldn't worry to think I wouldn't be able to stop in time. MT10 couldn't say the same. Yamaha doesn't have all the extras you can add on, unlike this bike. The S1000R just feels like a more rounded package, more finished package compared to the MT10. This bike is really easy to ride, it's smooth, the gearbox and engine work beautifully together, it's comfortable. I've been out on it for a few hours today. Stock seat, I've had no issues. MT10, my bum was starting to get numb before the end of the ride. If I was to place my money down on one of these two bikes, I'd be getting the S1000R and I'd get the sport package. I did say this bike does come with a USB and it does come under the seat. Here's the seat. BMW telling you what to do. You need to lift that, place the key in it to unlock the passenger seat. Inside there is the USB socket for your charger. Problem is, I've got an iPhone 12 Pro and it doesn't fit in here. So I'm not kind of sure why they put it in there. If you're going to do it here, make it big enough. Otherwise, it's useless. Sun's coming out, so it'd be rude not to jump back on. So, see you on the road.
I say the MT10 wins with the engine, and for me, I like a really torquey bike. This bike actually has 2 Newton meters more than the MT10, but the way the 10 makes its power is really down low in the rev range. Every gear, first, second, third, you can just pop that front up off the throttle, no clutch. I'm not saying you can't have fun with this bike and get the front up if you want, because you can. You're just going to need to be a bit more mindful of what gear you're in and what rev range you're in. See, with this, 1 finger braking is all you need. MT10, you are 2 to 3 fingers. I'm not sure if the mic's going to pick up the sound of the exhaust when you're coming off that throttle. Oh, I cannot wait for the summer. Bit more heat, dry roads, bring it on. And there we go, guys, all good things must come to an end. Pulling up to Dick Lovett's in Bristol now. If you didn't know, Dick Lovett's is the latest channel supporter for 2023, so you are going to be seeing plenty more videos coming from these guys. Looking at their great lineup of demo bikes, we are going to be doing reviews on all of these. Yeah, you may better tell they are 22 still. We are going to get these out, so when the 23 demos come in, we've got something to compare them to. If you did enjoy this review of the BMW S1000R, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you think this bike is going to be a little bit too sporty for you, lucky for you, I have test rode and done a first ride and review of BMW's S1000XR. Check this video out here. Or if you want to do a bit more adventure, a bit more touring, then check out my review on the BMW 1250 GSA. And until the next one, ride safe.